Good, thanks.
It's just one day, but what you say having new cornerback John Reed?
Well, you could tell that he came in wanting to set an impression. He was making some plays. He made himself be known. So far, after one day, like you said, if anyone could make a really good first impression, he made a good one.
Where do things stand at cornerback right now with the battle for the starting spots?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, DJ just came back, from his injury. Trey's been having a fantastic camp. He's been really doing some really good things. Witherspoon is a guy that's been making plays. He had a really good day yesterday. He's been having a really good camp. Preseason has been fair. But at the same time, I think a lot of guys, the competition is still out there. I don't think any decision has been made, but at the same time, we have some really good players to choose from.
What is it against the ball back? What does that bring to your defense having him? I know he's been out here watching.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's been out here watching, but to have him on the field, to know his energy, to know what he brings, the way that the guys feel about him, his juice, his ability as a player to really, put a lot of just spunk into the group. It's been a lot of fun having him back. You could tell he really enjoys being back.
Ken, how much, year two obviously with Jamal for you guys now, how much more creative can you get with him with a versatile player like that, and how much more does he grasp?
Well, Jamal has a real growth mindset. He really, really loves ball. You can tell in his feet and the way he moves around and his just his explosiveness as a player. And he's as a ball player, you're always finding ways to get better. And he's continually growing, learning, getting better. And the fact that he's able to continue learning our system at a slower pace when he was not practicing, it was really beneficial for him, and watch other guys play. So now that he's playing again, really able to put it together, really, really happy with his growth.
At what point do you want to have your starting cornerbacks?
Oh my goodness! By game week, I think preseason and our camp and our ability to not play our starters in these early games, being able to play our corners, get a lot of looks at a lot of different people. It's been really beneficial for us to get a lot of great looks, a lot of great situations, and I would assume by the beginning of our game week would be awesome.
Has the lack of targets maybe for your outside guys made it tougher to evaluate some of these preseason games?
Well, we have a lot of practice. We have a lot of practice time in, a lot of one-on-ones time on the receivers. But we have a lot of practice time. So that practice, obviously, preseason games are really important, but our time on the field here is really important as well.
The starters will get some playing time this week. What do you want to see out of that unit while they are on the field?
Well, that they play like starters. There's a reason why the starters are starters. So you expect them to really set themselves apart from the non-starters. So as long as they really take this game to a higher level, you see there's a big separation between ones and the others. That's what you want to see.
What kind of style does Demarius have compared to guys like Akello and Trey Brown in that left side battle?
Just watching Demarius, he's aggressive. He's really smart. He's a guy that he wants to make the play, and he's eager to find the ball. So it's important for him to really understand the different times that he can make his plays, because there's certain times that you have to stay on top. There's certain times that you can go and try to make a play. So it's important for him to really understand when those moments are. But so far, really like what we see. It's really good to see him put days after days together. Sometimes he would have a few days, then miss a day because of injury. But the last week or so, he's been able to really stack days.
How comfortable are you with Nick Ballore at linebacker?
Wow, it's good to see him. Really surprised. I didn't know him as a linebacker. I knew him as a fullback. What's up, Kerry? But watching him come in and make an impact, obviously he's played it before, and he caught on to everything really well. I sent him on a couple blitzes, and he just blitzed the way you're supposed to. So it was really good to see, and he tackled really hard, and he really understands the defensive mindset. So he fit in. Our first couple days in the defensive room, we're kind of loose and kind of crazy, and he fit right in. So he's the guy that fits right in with our personality.
What do you make of the progress that Gerald Taylor's made
Sam's spot. How is he kind of adjusting that and adapting? What have you seen of him so far?
He's doing well. A lot of flashes. Smart, very curious. Really loves ball and wants to. He stays late, comes early, asks really good questions, spends a lot of time with the coaches, watches a lot of film. So he's in our mind, he's a rookie. You know, he missed all of last year, so he's really seeing a lot of things for the first time. But very impressed with his growth. Very impressed with his mindset, and we really like where he is right now.
Seen out of Jordan Brooks from his rookie year to now. Just what are you seeing out of him in terms of?
I'm seeing more consistency. I think he understands, exactly, what is asked of him. Every play, every defense, every down, every situation, there are certain responsibilities that each player has, and him in particular. And he's really understanding how he fits in the group. He's a guy that's very aggressive. He likes to shoot gaps, and he's a good blitzer, and he covers well. So he's really learning how to really develop his skills, because he's pretty well-rounded in all the great things he can do. It's a matter of being really, really good at them and developing those skills to the highest level.
Marquise is back on the field. What are you expecting from him as the season?
We just want to keep him on the field. He's a guy that when he's here, he's full of plays. He makes a lot of plays. So our job is to make sure he stays on the field. Just keep stacking days. So today we got him back, and then let's keep him here tomorrow and keep the days going, and then we'll see what happens after that.
What have you gotten to learn about your cheetah rush package in the 2 preseason games?
Oh, did you know the name Cheetah? Good for you. Well, like I said, we haven't had our starting cheetah in, so it's so we've been able to get them in the game, but it's been the different numbers and the different people playing. So on the field, they look fantastic. On the practice field, we haven't quite seen them in the games yet, so we're kind of waiting to see when we can get the number 1 cheetah in the game. That would be nice.
What can LJ and Rasheem do that allows them to be inside in that package?
Well, they know we have some really good outside guys. So if they want to be on the 1 cheetah, they better be good on the inside, because there's no room for them on the outside. So they better develop themselves back there, or they'll be standing next to me on the sideline.
Come up with cheetah? Is that
Well, cheetahs are fast, and that group, they better get the quarterback fast. So anything fast, cheetah was the first thing come to mind.
What are your general expectations for the preseason finale?
Well, there's a lot of things. For us defensively, we want to get ourselves in a lot of situations. Short yardage, goal line, 2 minutes, sudden change. All these situations you want to get the guys really full speed work in. And we're getting that. Again, you'd like to get the starters in there at some point, the guys that you're going to play with in the season. But at the same time, for us coaches, just getting all of our, getting ready for the season, getting all the information together, getting the guys from the booth and then on the field working together, getting our groups substitution in, those type of things, making everything work really well. And then once we get the guys who are playing really good for us, the starters together, then we are able to put together, the type of unit that we expect, the real high level unit we're expecting.
When you were a player, did you guys do joint practices?
Oh yeah, yeah.
How do you feel about that as a player?
Well, as a player, back in the old days, we'd have joint practices 8-9 days in a row, 2-3 a day practices, which is unheard of these days. So that's really all I knew. So I expected, for the practice to be tough and long and consecutive, fly one team in, fly another team in for 8-9 straight days. So it's a little bit different now, but that's all we really knew, and that we really relied on that to make us tough, hard, and to get us ready for the season. But it's different now.
Did it toughen you guys up?
Yeah, we won a few Super Bowls. We turned it around in Dallas, and pretty good. So it worked for us.
anything else, guys?
Thank you.
And for a layman or a fan, how can you define how your offense is different than maybe Bill Walsh's original West Coast team and what people know as a West Coast team?
I think, well, first of all, that is the original, and all the way from Cincinnati to the West Coast, and great history within that offense. And there's a lot of teams and a lot of terminology around the league that's directly derived from it. But I think as time has gone on, our offense, like a lot of offenses, there's a little bit of a mix and match of several different aspects of different systems. And there is some origin in the West Coast, but there's a pretty good mix of different things throughout the different places I've been, or different places that different coaches have been, that have morphed a lot of these offenses around the league into kind of what they are today.
Is Carson or Roger Craig down?
Hey, they're each individually unbelievable players, so yeah, in their own right.
Diaz out there for a couple weeks now. What do you see in that him as he gets up to speed?
Yeah, it's great to have him back out there. You can see the pep in his step once he's out there back on the grass, running, looks fast, got his aggressive hands, and really getting a chance to get his feet underneath him and doing more and more every day. So it's great to see him out there, and can't wait to see him keep growing and growing as he's getting more and more opportunities these last couple days.
What did he miss with the time that he was out?
I think just being out there and the communication of, one thing to know it in the classroom or in a walkthrough setting versus, hey, break the huddle, get out there and have to go right now. And he's done a great job with it. So just accumulating as many reps as we can for him and getting him feeling comfortable in the offense and where he's aligning and what his assignments are. And he's done a great job so far, but there's no substitute for those live reps.
The work that he and Russell are doing, they say they're out here at 5:45, 6 a.m. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, they're out here. It won't be for a lack of effort. I mean, he's putting all the work in and knows that he's the guy that wants to be out there every second he could, wasn't able to, and so he's doing everything the right way. And it's great to see Russell taking him under his wing and giving him an opportunity to learn from him and see the offense through his eyes. And I know they've spent a lot of time together, as Russ has done with a lot of the guys, outside of the framework of organized meetings or organized practices.
For context, how early is that compared to when a player would otherwise have to be here?
Pretty early. No, we have a lot of guys, though. I'll tell you what, for a place, like I've talked about it before with seeing, whether it's Bobby Wagner or a lot of our guys, we've got a lot of true pros that are here early and really understand how to operate on a day in and day out basis. And so those guys are two of a long list of guys that are doing the right thing all the time.
Cody Thompson's been here now for a couple of years. What has been your impression of him? He's got some rep in the first team, a lot of snap in the first team games. What have you seen?
Yeah, I think he just continues to improve all the time. He's a great route runner. He's done a really good job of picking up the system right away. Been out there, all the time and able to play multiple spots. Does a great job in his one-on-ones, does a great job in the run game. So he's just someone that, you show up and he's going to put in a great day's work every day and just continue to grow.
Shane, what did you see from Colby Parkinson before he got hurt? I mean, it seemed like he was showing out for you guys about every day in practice. And how big of a blow is it going to be not having him here for a little bit?
Yeah, he's the tight end group as a whole has done such a good job of really picking things up and getting going. Coach McPherson's done a great job with those guys, and Colby was hitting his stride, and he'll continue to hit his stride. He's a guy that you talk about the off-season work and the preparation during COVID times or during times that aren't always easy to get everything done. He showed up ready to go and showed up in great shape. Knew the system inside and out before we even had our first meetings, and so he's just going to continue to grow. A little minor setback for him right here, but he'll be back, and he'll be back better than ever.
If you get the starters out there Sunday, Saturday, what would you like to see out of them?
Just great fundamentals, great fundamentals, being able to transfer. We've had so many good competitive periods in practice. Our defense challenges us every single day, so that's been a great experience for us to go against. So when it transfers from the practice field where we're getting more and more comfortable every day, transferring that right onto the field on game day, will be the most important next step in our process.
Shane, just what have you learned about Russ and the way he operates? You're around him kind of every day.
Yeah, I think, football is number one for him. Football is number one. I know he has, he's done a lot in his career already. He's got a lot of other things that go on outside of football, but football is number one, right? Football is number one. So he shows up early, he stays late. Everything you would hope and want from a quarterback, he delivers. So every day has been a pleasure to be around him, and it's been nothing but positive.
You guys added Travis Homer to the mix. Maybe what does he bring different? You talked about him being kind of unique in the back.
Yeah.
And then just, what's that competition like at running back in terms of all the depth now?
it's another position it's a great competition because so many guys have done such a nice job. You know, Travis, the first thing you see out here is how fast he is. You know, we'll see when everything gets going with pads on, all that stuff for him, when he can really let loose. But he's another guy, just like Colby's had some setbacks, but has been doing everything right to get back as quick as he can. He's in great shape right now, and you see it show up when he gets out there and gets a chance to start to get into the rhythm of football, not just workouts and rehab. So he's been doing a great job, and then the rest of the running backs have all been doing a phenomenal job with Alex and DJ showing up in the games in a multitude of ways right there, whether it's special teams, catching the ball, running the ball. So he's been a you know, just a great pleasure to be around. You know, put another guy in DJ and Alex, same thing, Chris, all the running backs in that category of with Rashad Penny coming back too in the mix of just doing the right thing so consistently that they're starting to reap the rewards in these practice settings of understanding the system and really looking sharp.
Shane, given the fact you haven't played any of the ones yet in preseason games, how much of a sense do you have of what you guys are going to be just off of practices and stuff? Just from a big picture field, do you have a good sense for this is what our offense is going to do?
Yeah, I do. I feel really good about where we're at. You know, we've been growing as an offense every single one of these practices, and just the ability, like I said, bringing back that competitive theme that's been so consistent around here. You know, the practices are in my mind game-like, and we've had so many of those experiences where we play these move the ball settings, or you know, play the offense versus the defense in realistic game settings, that you really start to have a really good feel for those. You know, for the guys that are playing well and how they're grasping it, and then other things that we need to keep working on and keep sharpening up before that first game starts.
What goes into deciding when to up the tempo in a game?
A lot of different things here. Can't give away all the secrets, right? No, I'm just kidding. No, just the feel within the game and players and what's going on within the course of a game.
What did you learn from Bill Belichick during the time you were around him?
Just an incredible attention to detail and you know, working hard. All the things that are the mantra over there from the do your job on. Just showing up every day and doing the best job at whatever your responsibility is that you can. And that's all you can worry about to be the best for the team.
What surprised you most about it? Maybe you weren't expecting when you went in.
Oh man, I was young and just trying to sit back and and learn as much as I could. So I think I tried to do a good job of that. Learned a lot of things, grew a lot while I was there, and then being able to look back at that experience and really understanding now as I've gotten a little bit older, you know, how important that experience was and how many great things there were to take from not only him but a lot of the people in that locker room and guys like Larry Izzo and guys, you know, different guys that are you know, so influential in that program getting built.
How has Stone done in his time with the ones?
He's done great. He's fit right in. You know, he still has, you know, stuff to learn like every rookie does. Every player on the team has plenty of things that they can keep improving on. But I think the biggest thing I noticed was Stone, and obviously coming from a major program there, you know, it wasn't anything new for him to go in there, whether it was the first scrimmage at Lumen Field or in the preseason games. You know, his demeanor, his mannerisms, hey, all the same, whether it's out on the practice field or going out to game day.
Decided on box or field in terms of where you're going to call plays from?
Yeah, I settled a little bit being on the field there, just having that ability to communicate with the guys instantly when everything's going on. I think has been helpful and going to continue to work at it that way.
Rashad Penny only got to play in 3 games last year. He got a few snaps the other night as a coordinator. But what do you think is the biggest key to really maximize his skill set?
Yeah, I think both guys bring such a great great value to the running back spot. And I think the good thing about Rashad, as I've gotten to know him a little bit more, is just getting him out there, getting him more reps. Because like anything else, you know, practice is the way you can hone your skills. And then obviously those invaluable game reps. It was great to get him out there for a little bit in the preseason game this past week. So I think continuing to learn, you know, what he does best, which is a little bit of everything, like a good, well-rounded running back. But it has been good to see him and see how well he can also play in the pass game. Just different things, like I said, just being around him more and more and having limited exposure to him, you know, outside of, you know, remembering him being such a great back in college, and now just getting a better feel for him day in and day out.
Anything else, guys?
All right, appreciate it. See you guys.